Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate the Leadership Tigard Class of 2021 graduation from Leadership Tigard. It's my great honor to graduate this 5th Leadership Tigard class. I want to extend my thanks to Dan Murphy and the Broadway Rose for being our safe port in the storm of the pandemic, where we gathered safely, social distance, and masked for 8 of our 9 days of this program. We could not have done this without you, Dan. I would also like to thank the City of Tigard for your ongoing support of the Leadership Tigard program as well, helping ensure that we fed not only the minds of our participants, but their bodies as well. For those of you unfamiliar with Leadership Tigard, in short, it is an annual 9-month program investing in leadership and community awareness, and is a program of the Tigard Chamber. During 9 full-day sessions scheduled once a month, participants convene together with other local leaders to expand awareness and understanding of unique issues and opportunities facing the Tigard community as well as Washington County. They're challenged to explore current issues firsthand and benefit from community and business tours, a series of leadership topics designed to enhance individual leadership skills, and then they apply those skills in a community service project. Focus areas for each day vary, starting with a top secret simulated society exercise, which no one can talk about unless they're graduate, a history, culture, and diversity day, human needs, business and economy, government, education and STEM, nonprofits and boards, leadership skills, communication and media, and public service and judicial system. So they get a view into all the many facets of the community of Tigard. Together, the class also has to discuss, determine, and select and execute a community service project. And then finally, they commit to coming back the following year to help lead a class day. Leadership Tigard educates rising leaders on the issues impacting business and their community. At the completion of the program, graduates should be able to see themselves plugging into responsible community roles, such as citizen committees, boards, city councils, and more. And now, more than ever, with social and political unrest and a pandemic still impacting health, community, education, business, and more, we need more leaders who care about their communities and are willing to educate and inform themselves and step into needed roles in all spectrums of our community. I've gotten the opportunity to watch this class get to know each other, learn many new things, gather awareness of issues in the community, and come together as a team and have fun with each other in the process. In addition, they stayed the course and stayed together as a group during the pandemic, convening either physically or virtually or a hybrid as necessary. The word resilient comes to mind, as well as transparent and authentic. They coalesced on not one, but 2 community service projects, which you will hear about later. Class of 2021. I want to encourage you to take what you've learned in the last 9 months and leverage it not only for yourselves, your businesses, for your organizations, and your causes, but for the betterment of Tigard. Continue to develop the connections and the friendships that you made, grow your skills, and impact those around you. Share and encourage others to make an impact as well, and share what you've learned. Be a voice in the community. Together, you and we can have a great impact on where we live, work, and play. Now I'd like to introduce Mayor Snider, who has some words for this year's graduating class. Mayor?
Thank you, Debi. Well, good evening, Leadership Tigard graduates. Welcome to family and friends watching on Facebook Live. This is the 2nd year in a row that I've had to say that at a Leadership Tigard graduation. Your friendship and guidance to the graduates are the reasons that they're here tonight. Graduations are a time to celebrate and to reflect. How many of the graduates remember their elementary school graduation? How about high school? College? Whether or not you do, I guarantee you that you're going to remember tonight. This is hopefully your last socially distanced graduation ceremony. I can't promise it, but I hope. Under these unique circumstances, I could probably walk off the stage right now and you would remember this occasion for decades. That said, I'm not going to exit stage left or get in a fight with Dan about whether I'm exiting stage right. In fact, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to challenge you. Graduating from a leadership program is not enough. Your impact as a leader will come from what you do after tonight. We face unprecedented challenges in our community. Our community cannot afford to have you step back from being a strong leader. You must seek out opportunities to lead. Last year, our community faced the financial and personal toll of COVID-19 and very serious questions about racial and social justice. Last year, we faced double-digit unemployment, uncertainty around the opening of schools, and worries about paying our rents and mortgages. This year, some of these challenges have improved, others have persisted, and we have new challenges. Community leaders like you and I must adapt to the changing environment around us. These challenges cannot be solved by one individual, but they can be solved by a community of leaders. We saw examples of this last year. Packed with Pride brought food to the many needy families in the Tigard-Tualatin School District. An army of volunteers, young and old, students and professionals, rich and poor, united to keep food on families' tables. And last year, the City of Tigard established the Public Safety Advisory Board to review and make recommendations about policing practices in our community. More than 35 people applied to serve on that board. That was unprecedented. We had our first ever community caucus, which allowed community members to select the participants involved in that board. I urge you to step up to this leadership challenge just as others did last year. Whether joining an existing effort or starting your own, our community cannot afford to have you sit back and wait for opportunities. Leaders must find ways to be part of solutions. While we all battled the impacts of COVID-19 last year, another watershed moment arose on May 25th of 2020. George Floyd was killed by police in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His tragic death led to some much needed soul searching about both racism and racial injustice in our country. Our reflections led to an uncomfortable truth. We've been complacent in allowing racism to exist in our communities. I want you to think about everybody in the room. We've sat quietly at our kitchen table while a family member or a friend tells a racist joke. We've sat quietly at work while hiring managers give an advantage to candidates who seem like a good fit. We've sat quietly at City Hall, giving preference to community members who have the time and resources to advocate for themselves and their interests. Silence is no longer acceptable. Leaders speak up, and that's all of you in this room. You must lead by learning where your privilege comes from and how it can negatively affect others, learn from the voices and experiences of BIPOC members of our community, and using what you learn to develop and promote anti-racist practices. You must lead by acknowledging that it isn't enough to be not racist. You must be anti-racist and consciously work to demonstrate that through your actions as a leader. You must lead by actively dismantling racist systems. Examples include schools that don't have sufficient resources, a criminal justice system that isn't just, and a healthcare system that doesn't provide adequate and affordable care for everyone, just to name a few. In closing, I'm confident that tonight will not be the last time that our paths cross. I expect to see each of you breaking the silence and stepping into leadership roles in our community. 30 years from now, when you reflect on this ceremony, I hope you'll not only remember the unique circumstances, I hope that you'll remember how you embrace the urgency of this moment by stepping up to lead in the recovery from COVID-19 and the movement to address systemic racism in our community. Thank you for the honor of speaking at your graduation ceremony tonight, and congratulations.
So now we are going to proceed to the presentation of graduation certificates. Each graduate has some insights about the program that are going to be read by our MC, Dan Murphy. So graduates, as your name is called, please proceed to the stage like we talked about before.
Well, and of course, the very first person is Nancy Alvarado, who in fact is not here, which just goes to show you, you don't have to be present to graduate. So we will somehow get her diploma to her at another time. So our next graduate then is Kelsey Anderson. If you would make your way up. As a participant of Leadership Tigard, I found an unexpected benefit of the program to be the connection I developed with my classmates. What started as a room full of strangers transformed over the course of a year to a group of people who shared deeply personal struggles and victories, challenges and successes. In this wildly unpredictable pandemic year, it was particularly meaningful to make those connections. While we come from different backgrounds and represent different organizations, it's a good reminder that we are all ambassadors of this community and can rely on connections made here to enrich our organizations moving forward. Well, the next graduate is Paul Borman, and he in fact is not here, but he wrote something that he would like me to read, so I will go ahead and read it verbatim. In my young life, I've had the chance to live across the country. Every place has a different culture. I've lived in the Southern culture in Texas, I've lived in the Midwestern culture in Minnesota and Wisconsin, I've lived in East Coast culture in Washington, D.C., and now I call Tigard my home. I can tell you that no place has felt like home more quickly than this place has. I can tell you I think I feel so at home here because of the ways I've seen Tigard handle the adversities of this past year. Through Leadership Tigard, I've rubbed shoulders and had an inside view of the ways the leaders have handled everything that has come at them. I am impressed at every turn. I've experienced a mayor who has taken time for me, a city councilor who has remembered my name for no good reason at all, and an organization after organization that stands proudly at the forefront of their fields. And Dan, I know you are going to be the one reading this, so I'm going to read a compliment. You're going to read a compliment about yourself. I've experienced a theater in the midst of a truly impossible situation, still reaching out of itself to serve its neighbors. This is the heart of the community of Tigard. It's the heart that I've seen over and over again through the educational process. I'm proud to call Tigard home. Leadership Tigard has made me even more proud of my city. I'm proud to be a citizen, and I'm proud to grow into my role as a leader in Tigard. Next up, we have Nicholas Salvo. Hi, I'm Nicholas DeSalvo, and I'm excited for the opportunity to write a script for Dan Murphy. I'm told Dan is contractually obligated to say these words exactly as I have written them, even if he doesn't believe them to be true. For instance, do you know that I, Dan Murphy, think Rent is the greatest musical of all time? And that I am particularly fond of the part in the show where they liberate money from the ATM. Those are both true things, no matter what I have just ad-libbed to indicate differently. Nicholas first started Leadership Tigard in 2019 when wearing a mask over his face made you more of a hooligan than an upstanding citizen concerned with public safety. The leadership program in the before times was a magical land of opportunity and wonder. Attendees would assemble live with their maskless faces to tour local businesses, schools, and programs. Nicholas was particularly struck by the mechanics of creating public policy and the effort Tigard in particular puts into making those policies equitable across its population. As the pandemic forced a shift in programming, Nicholas elected to finish the program in 2021. The Times After Leadership program was a completely different landscape, populated by a group of would-be do-gooders to spread messages of hope and perseverance across the community. Nicholas is extremely proud to be among the group of do-gooders and hopes to turn their hopeful messages into positive outcomes across the community for years to come. Speaking of positive outcomes, Nicholas wants to be sure I mention the Broadway Roses Our Time virtual fundraising gala, available now through June 23rd at BroadwayRose.org. Thank you for any donation you would be willing to give. Viva la Bohème. That's from Rent, a musical I obviously love. It only took him 2 years to finish the program. Holly Fenton, come on. I nearly missed out on the opportunity to participate in Leadership Tigard. I have so much gratitude for a friend who encouraged me to take another look at the program from the perspective of the inner growth and leadership-focused work that had been my journey for about a year. Participation in Leadership Tigard has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. Our class has been very open and at times so very vulnerable. I respect and appreciate each and every person in this group for their authenticity and for the parts of themselves that they have shared with this group. My biggest takeaway from Tigard leadership has been service to my community. Since my first experience with Pack with Pride, filling food boxes and helping to deliver those food boxes, I've been seeking out opportunities to give back to the city of Tigard. My husband and I delivered food boxes nearly every Saturday since our leadership team volunteered, and I intend to continue to offer my time to assist as the need continues. I am much more aware that there are people and businesses in our community that have needs and an awareness of what I can offer to help meet those needs. My long-term goals are to travel over the United States, kayaking, skydiving each state we visit. Now, due to my involvement with the Leadership Tigard program, I also intend to find a way to give back to communities that I spend time in, specifically finding ways to assist making sure children and their families have food to eat. I will always be grateful for my time and involvement with the Leadership Tigard program and each and every one of my classmates. Okay, great. So, Maria Gresham. Because I believe that everyone deserves an opportunity for greatness, I've dedicated my life to help people find those key leadership and development opportunities. Thus, I feel privileged that the CEO of New Narrative, John Trinh, and the memberships of Leadership Tigard of the Chamber of Commerce have helped me. As a member of this great state of Oregon and the city of Tigard, this program assisted me in many ways. Community. I've learned a great deal about serving the community in which I work and supporting those here and elsewhere. Communication, understanding the style of communication that I use, but also the consideration of others' efforts. And the diversity and care, the philosophy of diversity and inclusion, the work done to support that in my community and how I can help. I also received a gift as a member to the Tigard community. Leadership Tigard granted me a gift of new friends, contacts, and a network I may leverage going forward. Thank you for this wonderful experience.
All right, we're good? Oh, one more? This is my motivation. Thank you. My goodness.
would believe that during a worldwide pandemic, we would attend, participate, and complete a leadership class here in our own community of Tigard. Just as in life and day-to-day coping with everything, meeting during the pandemic definitely had its unique set of difficulties and challenges. We experienced various hurdles that included, but were not limited to, Zoom sessions, some live and some Zoom speakers, fully masked sessions, and of course modified Zoom while maintaining fully masked sessions. In addition, we had creatively modified safe tours while maintaining social distancing. But here we are, the newest graduates of the Leadership Tigard program. While we were challenged during this 9-month process, it gave us the opportunity to work with each other. We were able to display our passion, caring, and willingness to make a difference in our community of Tigard. In addition, it was very heartwarming and fulfilling to be a part of our community service projects. We achieved and completed all these things while opening up our individual vulnerabilities and embracing vulnerabilities and concerns of our fellow classmates. It is now an honor to be an alumni of this fantastic program. With this newly formed network of concerned citizens, I challenge all of us to continue going forward and make a positive impact with our families, neighbors, and other members of the Tigard community. Thank you for your knowledge, skill, compassion, and friendship in completing this journey with me. Do it. Thank you. Nicole Hendrix. Leadership Tigard has been an educational, empowering, and impactful experience that I am grateful to have been able to participate in. This program helped me build confidence, gain friendships, and connections that I look forward to continuing. I've appreciated the opportunity to learn more about our Tigard community through presentations, on-site visits, and discussions. What I enjoy most about this program is connecting and learning from other community members in a setting that is welcoming, open to sharing, and feeling comfortable enough to share more personal stories. Thank you to Debi, last year's cohort, for coordinating our sessions, and my fellow cohort members for being great classmates. This year has been difficult in many ways, but this experience has been a highlight. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of this Tigard Leadership Class. I have learned so much that it makes it difficult to narrow it down to 300 words or less. This class has affirmed my belief that there are good people out there. We met so many speakers, from our emergency services to our educators and public officials. I appreciated the openness and honesty that many shared to learn more about other facets of our community that I wasn't very educated about. It has also inspired me to become more actively involved in our community. I've always seen the value in a strong and well-connected community. The Tigard Leadership Classes have solidified why it's so important. I feel I have a better working knowledge of how all different parts fit together and able to more readily identify what parts aren't working. I feel better equipped to inform my clients about our community and all our resources we have, and I look forward to being a small part to help improve our city. My only regret is that I wish I had taken the class sooner. I would have loved to have seen every citizen. I would love to see every citizen take this class. Stephen Quick, come on up. I've lived in the Tigard area for the last 10 years. Even with COVID-19 pandemic set up for this year, Leadership Tigard, I have learned more about our city in a few months than I have living here for the past decade. What an awesome program. The first real takeaway was the mock government and how everything either works together or not. How in one short day, how tensions started to rise and how alliances were made. Second takeaway was learning about the school system. I mentioned that on the session about the movie Saving Superman, how pleasantly surprised how involved Washington County is to the success of our students. I know it is not an immediate fix, but I was incredibly happy with the commitment to our schools and local government. Honestly, I'm impressed enough with this program, I believe I will do this again in the future. The one thing I heard this entire process is how we missed this or wish we could have seen that, but could not because of COVID. My hat is off to Debi and everyone involved to keep this going. I'm extremely impressed with the program. Okay. Sara Tanner. As a new business owner in Tigard, I thought this class would be a great opportunity to learn more about the community, its government, and to meet folks involved in all of that. I originally thought it would be primarily to be a great way to network with other people in the same position as myself, a business owner trying to grow in a new community. What I really experienced was something far greater. With the wonderful leadership and facilitating by Debi and Jessica, this course was incredibly eye-opening. On topics I thought I knew something about and definitely had a firm opinion, my eyes were open to other perspectives and frames of reference. On topics I knew nothing about, the class gave me a firm foundation of resources to learn more. The two most impactful pieces for me personally were first learning about nonprofits in our area, who they serve and how little we know about them, which was now created a vision for our firm to eventually develop some type of center in our future building that will bring awareness and foot traffic to rotating causes that really deserve our attention. The second piece that had the most impact on me was the willingness of my classmates to be open and honest on really difficult subjects to a room of, to begin with, complete strangers. Their courage to speak freely about their lives in relation to race relations, discrimination, mental health, and time serving others was truly inspiring. I'm grateful for having had the opportunity to learn and participate with this amazing group. So Catherine West is another graduate that's not able to join us, so we will make sure she gets her diploma to display proudly. So then we go ahead and bring up James Wiley. When I started the Leadership Tigard, I wouldn't have considered myself a leader. Since the first day at SimSoc, the program has done more than just getting super familiar to Tigard. It's opened doors to who I am, who I want to be, and my role in my workplace, my community, and my family. Leadership Tigard pushed me out of my comfort zone many times. The vulnerability from this group has reinforced my notion that people are intrinsically good, something I regularly questioned. The activities from leadership are incredibly valuable, from improv to the sharing box, provide a teeny look into how these sorts of things can open us up to be more involved and caring for those in our lives and beyond. And of course, all the speakers who volunteer their time to share their passion and desire to build up others and our community to be the best it can be. I'm completely blown away by the enthusiasm people have for Tigard. Thanks for having me. I look forward to co-running the Education and Tech Day next year, and I'm excited to see how Leadership Tigard impacts the next class. So Wisniewski. Being a member of the Leadership Tigard Class of 2021 was a very rewarding experience and provided me with the insight into all the great opportunities that our community has to offer. I moved to Oregon about a year prior to starting Leadership Tigard. When my family made the move, I set a goal to expand my network, learn more about what our community has to offer, and find a way that I can serve the community. Participating in Leadership Tigard has allowed me to meet my initial goals and expand my leadership abilities. Some of the key takeaways for me were seeing the diverse offerings from various nonprofit agencies, how the local educational institutions are able to meet the needs of our community, especially during a global pandemic, and being able to participate in 2 community service projects. The most rewarding event was the simulated society exercise. Since we are not allowed to talk about Sims, I won't spoil it for its potential Leadership Tigard members, but it was very satisfying to be involved with the process and see how each of our actions impacted the greater society. I would recommend that the simulated society exercise be incorporated into larger team building events at your places of employment and community service organizations. I would like to recognize all the efforts of our teammates for the 2 community service projects completed this year. It was more important than ever to assist our community this year, and together we were able to provide a much needed service and support to our community. I would also like to thank the Tigard Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity to participate in the class of 2021 and learn more about this amazing community that I now call home. What a great place to live, work, and play.
So we're gonna do a little improv here. What's the class all about? I wanted to give a couple members of the class an opportunity to talk about the community service projects that they did. And I think it's gonna be a little improvisational because we didn't pre-plan those comments. And so I think I'm probably just gonna pick somebody, or a couple somebodies to come up and kind of talk about what was done. So maybe Scott and Kelsey could come up and talk about the Good Neighbor Center project that was done, and Sara could talk about the Pack with Pride project that was done. Because they're community leaders, and they know
Well, so as you've heard tonight, we did 2 service projects for our class this year. And so one was helping the Good Neighbor Center, collecting donations for them to benefit kids and families in our community. And the other was helping Pack with Pride. So Scott really headed up the Good Neighbor Center portion of our project, and Sara took the lead on the on the Pack with Pride boxes. But I will just say, as a collective group, this really was a team effort. We had a lot of people involved in a lot of different ways. So, like I said, these 2 had big roles when it came to promoting our collection. Jennifer, who owns Salon Mariposa, served as a collection site. Her salon was instrumental in helping collect the items that we did. And Scott and Maria, you both helped very much with the presentation that was made to fellow chamber members during the business Facebook meeting in the morning. A couple of people worked on the graphic that we had for the donation. Paul did that, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple other people too. So it really was a collaborative effort, and we were able to collect, I think, nearly 1,000 individual items for the Good Neighbor Center. So boxes and boxes and boxes of diapers, a lot of towels, washcloths, hygiene items. So it was really rewarding, and then we got to go deliver them, so sad.
I agree. No, it was very rewarding, and the Good Neighbor Center was extremely thankful for any and all donations. A little plug here is if you want to go online and look at the Good Neighbor Center, due to COVID, they've been changing the things that they will accept right now. Pretty much anything new, but please, if you can, be a good neighbor to the Good Neighbor Center. Thanks to the community and my fellow classmates, we were able to donate about 3 pickup loads of things that they received, and they were extremely, extremely, extremely grateful. So really thank the class, thank the participants in the city of Tigard for their donations, and it was a great opportunity to help out the Good Neighbor Center.
We did Pack with Pride, and we found out about Pack with Pride through one of my coworkers, team members. And they, if you don't know about Pack with Pride, they are an amazing organization that was set up almost overnight when COVID first hit. They deliver 800 plus food boxes per week to students and families in the Tigard Charlton School District. And they are not limited to kids who are in school. So they have a certain amount that they deliver just to students, and then they reach further out into the community. So I learned about it from, again, one of my teammates, and thought it would be a great activity for all of us. It was hard work. It is, you don't think about it. I think we were there, we did 2 shifts of maybe 3 or 4 hours each, and unloading cans. So I don't know about most people, but in my life, I don't do this for hours and over and over and over again. And so unloaded the cans and then loaded food boxes. And one of the most humbling things to me was looking at this box of food, and I had to stop and ask one of the gals that was, facilitating that for us, how long is this supposed to last? And it was supposed to last for a week for a family of 4, and the box was this big. And I know that they fill it then with, we were just doing cans and dried goods, but I know that they put some fresh produce, dairy products, and those kinds of things. But that was, a gut punch to think about how grateful and blessed we are. And it was just a really good opportunity to help other folks. And so I'm really glad. Now Holly's hooked, right? But it was a tremendous experience, and it was a lot of fun to do it as a group. We had a great time working all together, and I don't know that anybody's competitive, but we did try out how many boxes everybody could get on their time. I opted for safety as opposed to winning. So anyway, it was a great experience, and I really would encourage everyone to, if you have a chance, participate. They are continuing through the summer. So it is still a great opportunity to give back.
See, they did a great job. So we are wrapping up here. So I want to thank you for joining us, and congratulations again, class of 2021. I'm extremely proud of you and your transparency and your authenticity and the heart that you've displayed many times during the days where there was a lot of very transparent conversations happening. I was in the back or off the side tearing up while I was listening to what you guys were learning and sharing with each other. And I found it to be tremendously impactful, and I got to see your hearts. And I'm so thankful that you were in this class this year. As I listened to the takeaways today for this year's class in the comments that Dan read, for me, it just really reinvigorated me, and it reinforced why we do this program and why we need it within our community. So I'm calling on all of you to help spread the word. We are now accepting applications for next year's class. Hoping we don't have any COVID restrictions starting in October, so I'd love to have my largest class ever. My goal would be at least 25 people, so please help me achieve that goal. It'd be awesome. So alums of this program, including today's graduates, have been engaged already in a wide variety of ways in the facets of our community. So just to name a few, some have been previously involved or are currently involved. We've had a Tigard Charlton School Board member. We've had the Foundation for Tigard Charlton Schools. We had their chair. We had one of our classmates already was working with Pack with Pride, which is James Wiley, before he came into this program. We've had members of the Southwest Corridor Community Advisory Committee. We've had several of our classmates either be on the Tigard Chamber Board or on one of the Tigard Chamber committees. Members of the Tigard Charlton Relay for Life. We have members that have, or graduates that have been on the Tigard Downtown Alliance Board. We actually have a graduate who currently sits on the Tigard City Council. He was already a councilor when we went through this, so I can't take credit for that. I'd like to take credit for that. We have graduates that have been on the City of Tigard Budget Committee and the City of Tigard Citizens Engagement Committee. And that's, I'm sure, doesn't cover the gamut. But as you can see, we have a wide influence, I think, and we're growing our influence. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing where this class goes and what you guys do with what you've learned and how you will share that with community, with businesses, with partner and other organizations. And you now bring our total alumni to 78 graduates of this program. So class 2021, go forth, make your impact. Congratulations again. And to all of our viewers, have a great evening.